Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Lunch and Learn Live. Oh, I've done it again. I've gone live without putting a description in. Oh, well, just come because it's going to be amazing. Today, we are going to talk about vulnerability and the great shame that seems to be pervading the world at the moment of the fact that everybody seems to be doing better than me, because we filter through the lens of how you're doing on social media or how you're doing in your Zoom meetings or how you're doing, when we don't actually really see how people are doing very well at the moment. We don't get those, we're not having as many of those glancing interactions with people, or those, seeing each other around the water cooler at work where you just feel that someone's energy is off. So we don't recognize the fact that a lot of us are suffering. And this came out from our Momentum for Change weekend, this weekend just gone. It became loud and clear last weekend, and I thought, you know what, this is worthy of talking about in a little more detail. So as you're arriving, please come into the comment section. Let me know your name, say hello, introduce yourself, tell us where in the world you are, and it's Lunch and Learn, so hey, what's for lunch? You'll notice today that I am wearing my summer maxi dress. As Vix arrived this morning, he said, you look very summery, and I said, well, it's the last day of summer, let's face it, over here in the UK. I think it is going to be the last day of sunshine that we get. Apparently it's going to drop to 13 degrees tomorrow or something awful. Is that what it was, 13 degrees? Vix is here. Yeah, she's like great. She's just there. Socially distanced, it's all good. But, she's just there. It's very nice having someone in the office with me. It's been a long time alone. But yeah, 13 degrees tomorrow, which is like proper, we're heading into autumn. So I looked at my wardrobe this morning and thought, what am I going to wear today that I won't get a chance to wear for another 9 months? So I've picked out the summer dress, but then it was a bit too bold and ambitious. I was too cold. So I have the denim jacket on over the top. But I still feel summery. So hello, my lovelies. I can see your lunch orders. No, not lunch orders. Lunch statements coming through. Jean is having a turkey sandwich today in Withensea. Caroline is with her friend Jill, who is new to one of many. Oh, Caroline and Jill, I am giving you a big hug and a big welcome, Caroline. Oh, big one, Jill. Jill, the new friend is Jill. A big welcome to the community, Jill. It's great to have you with us. We're all a slightly madcapped, but very loving and very supportive bunch. So welcome to the community. Ruth is in sunny Huddersfield with a baked vegetable frittata for lunch. Ooh, I have lunch envy. Susan, hi Susan, how are you? Oh, thank you. I do feel a little bit fiery today. Amy is in Salisbury in England. Lunch today is roasted veg and tofu. Nom nom, yummy. Very good. Hi, Kathy over in Michigan. Good to see you, darling. Catherine Allen is there. Yay. Hi, Hetty. Hi, Caroline. Oh, fig and frangipane pastries for lunch. That's a wicked lunch. I like that. I would really like that. Sheila's in Cape Town. Hello, my darling. Good to see you. Sheila says, thanks for the weekend. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome. Vicky's in Bucks, socks on. It's chilly in Bucks already, she reckons. Alison's in Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire, egg on toast. And Debbie's having a jacket potato. Sarah, no food here, just getting ready for bed in Wellington, New Zealand. Well, I'm here to tuck you in, Sarah. Tucking you in, my love. Wherever you are in the world, ladies, welcome to Lunch and Learn Live. Today, we are going to talk about something which revealed itself from our Momentum for Change weekend this weekend, and that is how I think the epidemic of mask wearing, and I'm not talking about the coronavirus kind of, surgical mask wearing. I'm talking about like the pulling on the everything's okay face, that mask. You know the difference, right? Yeah, everything's fine. That mask wearing seems to have gone up a lot in recent times because For many of you, many of you were with us on the weekend, or heard at least about the weekend. We had our Momentum for Change weekend last weekend, which I've been chatting about in the last few lunch and learns. And oh my God, it was amazing, wasn't it? Those of you who were with us on the weekend, let me know in the comments how you're feeling afterwards, what you took away from the weekend, because it was awesome. It was an awesome weekend. The vibe was unbelievable. But not just the vibe, the amazing amount of sharing that people were doing in the chat channel and getting to know each other, the connections that have been made. I've seen lots of people obviously made connections over the weekend with people nearby them. The conversation in the B1 global community is really going amazingly well at the moment. The incredible breakthroughs and transformations that bubbled to the surface over the course of the weekend for so many women. There were clearly some hot buttons that came up, and I think I'm going to do a lunch and learn live on one of these coming up really soon. One was mother power type, especially our relationships with our own mothers. That seemed to come up, so stay tuned for a lunch and learn on that very, very soon. Oh, some lovely shares coming through from the weekend. Awesome, amazing, exhausting, and energizing all at the same time. It was absolutely fabulous, says Hetty. Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing. Very good, very good. So, it was an amazing weekend. But one of the big takeaways, and we saw this a lot, was often what happens when women come into the one of many community is that it's the first breath of often being in a safe environment for, in some cases, weeks, months, or even years, where we feel safe to go, you know what? I can rest my load down a little bit here and actually say how I really am. And early on in the weekend, lots of people that were starting to share, I'm actually really not managing very well. I'm really not managing very well. I'm not doing okay. I'm struggling in my relationship, or I feel like I'm failing as a parent, or, we had shares of people that were really, really struggling to stop weeping, real big emotion out there, or that sense of kind of sleepwalking numbness. And there were so many very deep and powerful shares, and I'm not going to share any of them because I don't have permission to share the specifics from the individuals. It was a very safe space. But what was revealed was just how much we are collectively challenged and hurting at this time. Even those of us who are very well resourced, and those who've been in the One of Many community for a while, I'm thinking especially of our Lead the Chnage graduates and our mastery participants and graduates who are really deeply embedded in the tools. Even them sharing, it is an incredibly tough time. Even us trainers. I mean, God, we've been working with these tools for years and years and years and years and years, decades in some cases. And even the most resourced of us are feeling the pressure of this time. However, we're not talking about it in any other spaces, and that I think it freaked a few people out on the weekend. There was like, wow, there's a lot of people sound like they're not okay. Is it this weekend that's making them not okay? And I want to be really clear about this, right? This is the thing. The feelings and all of the stuff, all of those pieces is there for us, right? For everybody who shared how they were hurting or what the challenges were or where they were feeling stuck, that was all there. All that changed was an environment where it was safe to say it out loud, where it was safe to share. And what that caused me to come away from, I've been reflecting on it since the weekend, and I'm reflecting on just how vulnerable so many of us are feeling at the moment, and just how few safe places we have to say that out loud. Clearly we're under pressure in our home environments, and we're often being the strong ones for our family members, our wider family, possibly in our workspaces. I mean, if you're the sort of women that are attracted to one of many, kind of change-making women who care, women who are looking to make a difference in the world, you're likely, the person in your space who is the one who listens, who's the go-to person, who's the pillar of strength in the community. Give me a little thumbs up or a shout out or a yes me in the comments if you're the one who's supposed to be the strong one in your space, you know. We often, that falls to us. And when it does fall to us, we are the last ones to reach out and say, God, you know what? Whew, I'm not doing okay. Because we feel like the whole world will fall apart if we say it out loud. Yeah, we feel like that. Yes, that's it. Oh, Aisha, that's so beautifully put. Aisha just said, when we lean on each other, the load is more bearable. Absolutely, it is so, so true. Sheila's saying, seeking help is good, not weakness. Yes. Oh, how lovely. Amy's just saying, this weekend has simply changed my life already, and I haven't even done anything yet apart from reflect. I loved it. Amy, that is so beautiful. So, so wonderful. Yeah, and Tracy says, I love this safe space and place. I've often felt lonely or alone despite having many friends. And that's it. Because we talked on the weekend about this collective depletion that we're in, this collective grief, this collective challenging moment. So even though we have friends, we're not actually coming completely clean with our nearest and dearest and our friends about how we're actually doing. And that this weekend just gone, I think, provided that space for so many women. But the piece that I wanted to talk about this vulnerability is the recognition that it is a universal experience, that grief is universal, that fear that we have is universal. Because sometimes, and Aisha, I'm so glad you're here, because in a moment I'm going to share your video from our interview last week that we shared on the weekend, because I think you speak to that so beautifully. But what Aisha speaks about in this video, and what I want you ladies to be aware of, is that the pieces that we think are, what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes we can feel like there's something wrong with us as individuals, that we are somehow flawed or broken or particularly challenged, and our neighbour isn't, right? The other school mums next to us are not. The other women who are out, dating are not. That the other women who are leading teams are not. That everybody else seems to have it together, but we're somehow a little bit, not okay. And what I want to say about that is absolutely not the case, right? Oh, whoops, Daisy, where did you go? Come back here. That's absolutely not the case. And I wanted to actually share, a video here because I think Aisha explains it so beautifully in this video. So I am going to share some of my Lunch and Learn live with the beautiful Aisha who is here, who is saying, so embarrassing to watch myself. Excuse me. I don't think you should be embarrassed, darling. You are so articulate, so awesome, and so clear. So check this out. It was an interview I did with Aisha. I want you to listen out for this little piece here on that piece of I feel like I'm not doing as great as everybody else is doing, but what's available. Have a listen. Well, I'm absolutely blessed to be joined by Aisha Abdallah Joda, who is a doctor. She doesn't do clinical work now, she does medico-legal work. She's also a mum and joined Living the Chnage a few months back. So Aisha, why don't you give us a little bit of your context? What does life look like at your end, especially before you started the program?
So before I started the program, 4-year-old girl working in tribunal work, which is quite flexible, which means I get to spend time with my little girl and I can pick her up and drop her off. Married, but having sort of marriage issues and also having visions of a dream I want to try on to set up, but not yet working it. And that's when I sort of joined One of Many.
So how did you first come across One of Many?
So a friend doctor who is an amazing friend actually gave me a One of Many one-day conference pass. And I came down to London and I took part in the day, and I came away feeling so energized and just intensely just happy. And I thought I need to come back to this. And it took me 2 years to actually get back to it because I got busy with life, as you do. But then the Emerging Together series that you did, Joe, in March, it was, I think, was just so incredibly everything I thought about it and all the tools you talked about and the pillars and the power types, it all just felt right. And I thought this is the time to invest in me. So I did.
Oh, well done. And I know that for you at that time when you first started, I know you had a big vision for the future, which we'll talk about in a moment, but you also had some personal challenges going on, right?
Yeah, so my marriage was, I was struggling with my marriage and I had been for 2 years and I couldn't decide whether I wanted to stay in the marriage or whether I wanted to leave. I was very indecisive and I was very torn to make that decision. And I felt like I needed a direction to help me make a decision and move on with my life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure there's women who can relate with that. You know, sometimes we just get so stuck and on that indecision roundabout, it's hard to choose. And then the Living the Change journey has unlocked a lot for you, I know. So why don't you take us through that? What have been the big shifts for you?
So the big shift, we had a reset workshop that was incredible, and we did, and I chose to talk about and to look at my relationship because it was my biggest issue. And what it actually came out of that was that I did want to give it my all. I wanted to give it 100% and just make sure that I'd given it every chance of surviving. And I came out of that feeling really positive, and I did all the work, and I did try really hard, but then an event happened between my husband and I, and your words, Joe, about being the change you need. I cannot change somebody else. All I can do is change how I behave and how I react to what happens to me. Made me think that actually I want a different life. I want a different outcome and I want to be happier, and I wasn't getting there despite giving him my all. So I made a decision to actually have asking for a divorce, which I've done.
How do you feel about that choice? How do you feel?
I know it's really difficult, but it's lifted a weight off my mind. I mean, it was such a struggle. It was pulling me down, and every day I was struggling with it. And it was this like weight on my shoulders, and now it feels lifted. And I know it's hard and it's really difficult to break up a family. And I didn't want to do it, but actually I think we'll all be happier for it. And I'm really happy that I've made that decision.
Well done. Well done. It's not easy, but I love that you did. You did give it your absolute all. You made that choice. You committed to it. And so you know then that this is the right choice. It's not coming from a place of doubt or lack of certainty, which is so awesome. So how about in other areas of your life, the journey, what's it allowed and opened up for you? Specifically, perhaps tell us about the project that you had in mind.
Yeah. So my project, since I was in medical school, I've wanted to build a hospital in Northeast Nigeria, which is where I'm originally from. And just because talking to you, Joe, and you giving me this vision that I need to just sort of take a step. And I contacted lots of the one of many women on our Facebook group, and I got lots of help and input and encouragement. And now I've got the website being built. I've got the charity business. I'm starting to do the business plan for that and applied for charity status. I've got board members. So it's all starting to take shape and it's all solid, and I can see it so clearly now. It's so exciting.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Well done. And I remember you telling me one of your big insights about yourself was just this feeling that, fear it wasn't your thing. It wasn't exclusive your thing. Tell us about that, how that's changed your outlook and how you're going at things now.
Yeah. So when I came to one of many, all my uncertainties and fears felt like I was a little bit broken. And I used to think, oh, there's something wrong with me. But what one of many has made me see is that it's the systems of the world and the world around us that are broken. And how we choose to, take a step forward is actually going to heal the world and get us into the world that we want to live in. There's no use me sort of worrying about what is bad about the world when actually there is so much good in it, and all we need to do is invest in that goodness and amplify it. And I think that is what this group has helped me do. We just see the goodness that is out there and cherish it and look at it, and just every day I am finding things about the world. I'm so happy there. I'm so grateful. And I've just found this renewed energy to face the world every morning, even if I know that things are going to be difficult, I know I can do it. And the self-belief that one of many has given me is just incredible.
Oh, extraordinary. And I know that for you, you've really activated a small network of women in the community to work through that have become close, right? Tell us about that.
Yes, so one of the very early units on the Hearth in the Facebook group is that you encourage us to find bodies. And what we've actually done is taken a step forward. Rather than just have one or two bodies, we have a group of women. There's 9 of us actually.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and we're all bodying each other. And what we're doing is we're checking in with each other. We're being accountable to each other. And we're encouraging each other to go through our modules and to work on all the different bits. And if there's anything we're finding hard, we're bouncing ideas off each other. And it's like this solid group of sisterhood. And it's lovely. You can check in with them at any point, and you just know there's going to be love and support and encouragement. However badly you feel, you just need to talk to them, and everything just seems so much brighter. And it's just like the strength beneath me now. It's just fire. And it's lovely. It just feels like home. And I would never have found it without one of many. So I'm incredibly grateful.
Oh, darling, I love it. And I just love how you have taken that initiative to get a group together to move through together with, because I know that in One of Many, it's these connections with other women that have us feel it so much more deeply and richly than if we can, engage just from a place of solitude. So standing where you are now and looking out towards the future, what are you excited for the future?
I'm just so excited to just be a better version of me, like just that belief every day, knowing that I can make this world what I want it to be, and I can bring up my daughter in this world of positivity. It's just awesome. And also I know my charity is going to happen, and that dream is becoming a reality and is going to make a difference out there in the world. And I feel amazing. I know it's been a turbulent year, 2020, and everybody has struggled, but honestly, it's been a renewal for me. I just feel like, the world is my oyster. Yeah.
Well done, my darling. So if anyone was considering taking this same brave step and stepping into Living the Change, what would your thoughts be?
Do it. It is so worth every penny that you invest, because this way of life is basically just investing in yourself and loving yourself and believing in everything that you are, and it will just unlock all of the stuff that you have in there. It's there, you just need that key, and One of Many just gives you that key, and it's brilliant. Honestly, the community is love, and I'm so happy to be in it.
Oh, Aisha, thank you so much, my darling. Thank you for taking the time today. So grateful.
Thank you. It's been amazing.
Isn't that wonderful? Aisha, you are amazing. You are inspiring, and the transformation that you have created for yourself over these last few months has been a delight to witness. Absolutely a delight. To bring us back to what we were talking about, and I think what Aisha spoke to so beautifully there is this feeling that sometimes we can have that our experience of life, our inner experience of life, our own fears, our insecurities, our vulnerabilities can feel like it's a fault or a problem with us, that there's something fundamentally wrong with us. So I'm interested to hear from you ladies who are here with me on the call today, who are here with me on the line. How many of you felt that before? Like, give me a little yes in the comment section if that's been an experience that you've had where you've kind of had this isolated experience of yourself. You're looking at your own inner world and thinking, wow, no one else does these fears in this same way. No one else has these same insecurities. No one else is kind of as broken or as busted up as I feel like I am inside, right? Yeah. So quite a bunch of you by the looks of that coming through. Yes. Jean, Alison, Sheila. Yes. So, the first point, there's a lovely piece that I learned actually, and this was from Liz Gilbert, who I love, Elizabeth Gilbert. She's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, which was a great book. But my favorite of her books is Big Magic, and she talks about the creative process, right? And in it, she identifies that these insecurities and fear, it's kind of like it's a universal experience, right? These worrying that something's not going to work out, worrying that we're not good enough, worrying these things, they are universal experiences that all of us have at different stages of our life, different stages of our day, different stages of our week. And the interesting piece that she references that I quite like is she talks about, it's like, there's a couple of radio stations we can tune into. There's radio station fear and uncertainty, and that all of us can tune into, and it might feel like our own personal fears. Maybe it's a personal fear of a job interview, or a personal fear about, taking your kid out of school, or a personal fear about going on a date or whatever, right? It could feel very personal, but actually at that time, it's just that we're tuned into Radio Fear FM, That's where our focus and our energy is on that piece. Whereas there's other radio stations out there. There's Gratitude FM and there's Love FM as well. And they too are universal experiences that when we start coming in, when we come together in collective, as we did on the weekend, and we are certainly to a certain extent here today. I mean, yes, there's fewer of us here on this live than there was on the weekend. But when we come together in community and we start talking about our experiences, one of the first and most healing pieces is this awareness that, holy shit, I'm not the only one, right? I'm not the only one. And as Jilly has just said so beautifully here in the comments, she says, I was quite surprised to find that others have similar feelings. Why does this surprise us? Well, I'll tell you why it surprises us, because we don't bloody well talk about it. We don't talk about our innermost feelings. We don't talk about the fact that we sent an email out to a potential client and they didn't write back and I feel rejected and alone. We don't talk about those feelings. We don't talk about the fact that we went out on 3 dates with a girl or a guy and then we just didn't hear from them afterwards. They just vanished, they disappeared, and we feel rejected and alone. We might talk about the what happened, but how often do we actually talk about how we are feeling at a deeper level? And if I could take that one step further, I would say, how many of us actually even take the time to notice how we're feeling at a deeper level? Do you know what I mean? This is a critical piece that is missing in our culture and in our society, are safe spaces to be heard, safe spaces to be the full entirety of who we are. All of our huge, awesome and rocking magnificence that we see witnessed so beautifully by Aisha here today, and all of our vulnerable, weepy, uncertain, insecure selves, right? We just don't have those spaces. And that for me is one of the things that I'm intensely grateful for in one of many. And to see how you ladies feel that capacity to be able to come, to show up, to share so deeply here, is that when we step into these spaces, if we're someone who doesn't even look at our own emotions, we start hearing from women like Aisha who says, at first I thought, my own fears and insecurities meant that I was broken or there was something wrong with me. But then I realized there's others, and you go, oh, fears and insecurities. Oh, maybe I have some of those. And you might just start to look for the very first time and start to notice how you're feeling. For those of you who are very present to how you're feeling, but not actually telling anybody about it, you might show up on a Living the Chnage coaching call, or in in the B1 community said, look, this is what's going on for me right now. And it's said and it's out loud and it becomes a shared experience. And then what usually happens in this community is hundreds or dozens at least of other women go, oh, me too. That something similar happened to me. Yeah. Something similar happened to my sister. It's such a powerful thing, right? And that relief that can come on the backside of sharing openly is so powerful. It's so, so powerful. Sometimes it's just the ability to lay down the burden in a safe space, which is a critical piece. So I want to obviously acknowledge and honor you ladies because you're a part of what makes the fabric of this community. You are a part of what makes this the safe space. And I thank you for how you be with each other. I know we're on the Facebook page, kind of the external facing page today, but those of you who are critical and active members in our closed Facebook group, that safe community space, the B1 Global Community, I thank you. I thank you for providing that listening for each other and that safe place to kind of lay down the burden, to rest and to be okay with not being tickety-boo all of the time, you know? It's such a, yeah, you're right, Sarah. Sarah says it's having the shared vocabulary and the trust in others that's enabling. It is. And this is the fabric you ladies are co-weaving with us, you know? And I love it and I honor that. So thank you for that. And I want to put out there an invitation that if you are feeling some things and you haven't shared recently in B1, you might not necessarily feel comfortable to share here on the public page, and that's okay. But in B1, maybe you want to come in and you want to share what's going on for you. You know, how are you? Share how you are, and just notice what happens with the overwhelming sense of support that comes on the back end of that. Now, that's kind of one option there. And I know that many of you here in the community, and the names I can see here, are already members also of our Living the Chnage program. Now, if you're not, Living the Chnage is our kind of, I guess, even deeper exploration into the tools and a deeply held, coached, and supported space. Which is facilitated by our online coaches and an amazing members library of absolutely exquisite tools to really deepen the work and to strengthen that vocabulary that Sarah's just been talking about. At the moment and right now, for a very limited time, only until next Monday, we're accepting new members into the Living the Chnage program. We have already over 300 members in there, and since we opened doors on the weekend, we have welcomed nearly 100 more new amazing members who've joined the community. And there's a really good reason to check it out and get registered today and not wait till Monday if this is the first that you've heard about it. And that is that if you register and join us in Living the Chnage before 6 p.m. London time, that is 4.5 hours from now. Really? Yes, that's right, isn't it? Maths is not that great. Excuse me. If you do it by 6 p.m. London time tonight, you will also be able to get access to Reset. Now, if you are feeling like you just need to hit the big red reset button and turn over a new leaf, whether it's turning over a new leaf in your relationship like Aisha did. So for Aisha, she took that in her relationship was having trouble, and she took her relationship as her key focus to the Reset workshop. It's a 5-6 hour workshop that we do. It's a very powerful workshop. I think I'm going to make it 6 hours this year, actually. You need an extra hour. But it's very powerful, where we look at a challenge that is appearing at a surface level, and we dig down using a very profound process called the awakening process to identify the underlying patterns that have triggered it in the first place, that have created it in the first place. And those underlying patterns are what generally feed not just this one issue, but many issues in our lives. So whether it, like Aisha, it might be a relationship challenge that you're facing, maybe it's a career challenge that you're facing, maybe it's a financial challenge that you're facing, or a health and vitality challenge you're facing, or a self-esteem challenge that you're facing. You could bring anything like that. Bring the challenge, whatever it might be, whatever level, and we will dig right down and through and spend a good deal of time working deeply on your values and how your old values are holding you stuck, and co-creating a new set of values to be able to help support you in the time ahead. So the Reset workshop is available for everybody who registers before 6 p.m. today for the membership. There's a great question A great question here from Simone. Is it just for newbies? I may need a reset and an LCC kick in the ass. Yes, we're just having a look at that at the moment, Simone. I think where we're going to end up because of call capacity is all of our members, all of our past members will be able to access the recordings of it. So you can absolutely have the kick in the pants that you need. And it will be our new intake that are registered in the early bird special that will get the live workshop. So that's kind of where we're at the moment, because we're only able to, we have a call limit number of 200 to be able to facilitate the breakout rooms and so on. So I don't want to promise things that we can't deliver on that. But absolutely, the recordings of the workshop will be available in the members area for everybody who is a current member. So yes, absolutely. If you're not yet a current member and you need support right now, if you need a kick in the pants, if you need love and caring and nurturing, if you need a coach, if you want someone to unburden to, then come and join us in Living the Chnage. It's one of the most profound programs I think you could ever find for that. So there are 3 levels available, ladies, and you can see them all on the website. The website that you want to go check out is oneofmany.co.uk/LVC. So I'll pop that in the chat channel here. It's oneofmany.co.uk/LVC, and that should take you there. That should take you there to the page where you can see everything there. It introduces the program to you. So if you're brand new to our community, if you missed the weekend and you didn't hear me talking about all of the detail on it, it's all right there on that page in wild amounts of detail. And what you won't see on the page, though, is the reset bonus. Reset is valued at £297, but it'll only be available for those who are registered for the program in our special Momentum for Change launch period by 6 p.m. tonight. As I said, we're limited by the numbers that we can have on that call, so we have to cap it. It's a super early bird bonus. Not everybody will be able to get involved in that, but it will just be those ones. So get yourself registered by 6 p.m. today, and you can get access to that one. Oh, how beautiful! Oh, wow! This is absolutely lovely. How nice, Tracy. Tracy's just saying, come to Living the Chnage and come into the Hearth. So the Hearth is the closed Facebook group just for our Living the Chnage members. That space, unlike B1 is a big, wide, kind of wonderful community and supportive space of sharing and peer support. The Hearth is a smaller group, and that's where it's a coached space. So our in-house coaches looking after that space, answering questions. I jump in there from time to time as well with really, specific answers to specific questions and so on. It's really, really powerful. And Tracy, who is one of the members in there at the moment, says, come on into the Hearth. You'll be welcomed with open arms and loved and supported in a completely non-judgmental way. Tracy, that's a lovely... See, it's you lot that make it all so beautiful in this space, hey? One of our certified coaches has just shared something beautiful here, the wonderful Dunia Shafiq. This is lovely. It says, I've been working with a group of women sharing one of many's gift for a few weeks now. One of them was very hesitant to engage, and she didn't cry the whole entire time she was in prison. Today, she shared that last night she allowed all the emotions to come out, and she was a totally different woman today. Dunia is specialising in working with women who've been incarcerated. Is that right, Dunia? I think I remember seeing that's the niche that you're focused on, women who are coming out of prison and supporting them powerfully with these tools. And I honour you, and I am proud to be your sister in that work, my darling. That is amazing. Can you imagine what it would be like? I mean, talk about, we talk about being trapped by our emotions, but when we have our physical kind of, liberties taken away as well, and then, all of the feelings that would come up, imagine not feeling them the whole time you're inside. The release, the relief to start to process it. Dunia, the space you must be holding for this community is incredible. Well done. Yes. So women prisoners and mothers of prisoners as well. Well done, my darling. Dunia's got a very special, very, very special story. That's wonderful. So yeah, ladies, come and join us for Living the Change. If you need someone in your corner, if you want to, lay down the burden, if you want a place where it's normal to feel things, it's normal to have challenges. It's like, everybody who's here would relate to this. It's not like it's like a big pity party where it's like, oh my God, it's not a whinging and whining place. It's not even slightly like that. There's an empowered sharing of what's truly going on and practical tools and strategies to help you to create life to look the way we want it to look, to get the results we want to get. You heard Aisha speak so powerfully about that in that video, right? Where she's been able to make a decision around her relationship that she'd been toing and froing on for quite some time, where she's able to start work on a charity that she's been dreaming up since med school. Amazing momentum gets underneath you, right? It's so, so powerful. Oh, that's a lovely way of saying it, Jean. She says it gets someone in your corner before you're even there yourself. It is like that, isn't it? It's kind of like the community and the coaches and the trainers, we're all there backing you until you're ready to back yourself. And we all need that. We all absolutely need that. So you can get registered for Living the Change for as little as £29 for a bronze membership, right through to if you want a one-on-one coach of your own twice a month, that's £329 a month. But it's an extraordinary program. Go check it out on the website. It's got all the details there. I want to, by the way, ladies, if you know anyone who could use a dose of Living the Change or even just a dose of free inspiration from this video today from Aisha and this chat about talking about, that it is normal to be feeling stuff and that we need to create a safe space of some sort to be able to lay that down, who might want to join into the B1 community, please feel free to share this video with them. Tag them in the comments, maybe write their name in the comments and Facebook will suggest their name and you can link them to it. That would be really powerful. Or you could just share it to your Facebook page. You could share it to your profile and your friends can see it too. And I know that happens a lot in our community. For everybody who does share our work, the way Dunia is doing and the way so many of you I know are doing, a massive, massive thank you. We've got this week, I think over the last couple of weeks since we started Momentum for Change, we've welcomed thousands of new women into the community. And I am incredibly humbled and honored to be able to be of service and to equip more and more women with these tools that will help them to sustainably change their corner of the world. So big thank you to all of you. Really big thank you. So as we wrap up today, what I want to ask of you is, those of you who have your safe spaces, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? What's the next place for you to challenge, to reach out? Some of you have shared in the chat box you are having a tough time. So how are you going to reach out and to whom? If you're in Living the Change, for instance, and it's been a while since you came on a coaching call, maybe it's get on a coaching call and prioritize getting your hand up and getting coached, right? Maybe it's going in and just sharing an experience in the hearth that you've had. For all of our current members, might be just a re-engagement with the amazing support that you have. For those of you who are not yet members, maybe it's coming into the B1 community and sharing, sharing how you're doing. Maybe it's calling up a friend and saying, I haven't spoken to you for a long time because I've been having a tough time and I know you have too. Could we have a real conversation about just the tough times we're having and maybe be there for each other? There's many, many ways to create your safe space, but you need one. We need one. All of us need one right now. It's a really tough time. We're going through tough times, clearly. So let me hear from some of you. What are you going to do? I want to hear some action commitments in the comments section. A big or small action. What are you going to do? Let me know. For those of you who are contemplating Living the Change, you need to get yourself registered by next Monday because then doors will be closing again. Our enrollments will be closed until the new year. We won't be opening up enrollments to Living the Change until the new year again. So this is your last opportunity to join the community, the coaching community, join the Living the Change community. this week, basically. You've got till Monday. And if you know that you want to do it, then do it today so that we can get you on that reset workshop that Aisha talked about in her little video there, because it's extraordinary. It's life-changing. You're absolutely going to love it. So good. Alison is right. Yes, I'm going to prioritize getting coached. Well done, Alison. Go in there, get what you need. Well done. Jilly is saying, I'm heading back into the hearth. Good, Jilly. I want to see a post from you this afternoon. I want to see your radiant smile, or a post from Jilly in the hearth today. Great. Susie says, I'm already getting quotes to get my website built. Good. That's great, Susie. And I want to know that you're being held and supported. Today's topic is about held and supported. So make sure that you've got some actions in that space too. Yes, Debbie is saying, I am fearless. Get back into living the change, get on the calls and doing the work to get myself okay so I can support others who need it right now. Well done. Some lovely actions and some great shares there, darlings. Well done. All right, my beautiful, beautiful women. It's been great to spend some time with you this afternoon. Do keep an eye out over the course of this week, because we are in enrollment stage. I am going to be going live with some little pop-up coaching sessions and pop-up lives in the B1 global community. So right now we're on the one of many Facebook page, the external facing Facebook page, but in our inner community, the B1 global community, let me write it down in case you're new, B1 global community. If you search for that on Facebook, you'll find us. Come on into that closed group, and I'll be doing more little pop-up lives on different topics and doing coaching, Q&A style coaching on the Facebook lives over the course of the rest of this week whilst we are in enrollment zone. It's just a way for people to feel like, well, what is this coaching? What does that mean? What does it mean coming to a Q&A call? How might I get supported? And it's an opportunity to show you what it feels like and it looks like. We kind of feel like during these enrollment phases, it's like where we throw all of the doors open so you can see what it's like. I might even show you around the members area and stuff like that. You can see everything that it's like. And then if it feels right for you, you can go ahead. So go check it out. All of the amazing opportunities and resources available for you. And I'll be in B1 a lot this week, so keep an eye out. All right, angels, have a fabulous week. I will see you next Tuesday for Lunch and Learn Live again. See you then. Bye.